What's up, everyone? Chris Killian here. For all you aspiring actors out there, I've got a very special guest in studio with me today. She's coached a number of fantastic actors like Ryan Reynolds, Amy Adams, Kyra Sedgwick, just to name a few. And today she's promoting her new book, The Loughlin Technique. Warner, thanks so much for being here with me today.
Thank you for having me.
So tell me a little bit how you approach acting and why your technique is different than maybe some other acting techniques that are out there.
Well, a lot of the acting techniques out there are what I call kind of old school. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm not going to offend. I don't mean to offend you.
You can't offend me at all. I mean, you can call it whatever you want.
But they're substitution based. In other words, you would take something that happened in your life, mm-hmm. a tragedy, for instance, in your past, and you would use it in the moment of the scene, which I found to be a huge problem in my own work when I was an actress. So I, after some pretty brutal experiences, said, there's got to be a different way. There's got to be a better way to do it. So I came up with this technique. Mm-hmm. It's all imagination based. And we dive deep down into the character. We start when the character is about age 3, 4, 5, or 6, and we build that character up over time. We actually create a life for that character in our imaginations, so that on set it's quite easy because you never run into something that you can't deal with.
So you're saying so you don't have to go into personal stuff from your own past, but you kind of build a entirely new thing with the characters. How long does that take to like start from beginning and be like, this is what happened at age? Do you go like by years or what kind of?
Not every year, but that's such a smart question.
Okay.
Because people go, oh my gosh, I can't live an entire life, right?
Yeah.
I would never be able to audition. But there is a way to shortcut the technique. It
Mm-hmm.
really depends on how much time you have. Do you have 2 weeks? Do you have 2 months? Do you have 2 hours or 2 days? So depending upon the amount of time you have to build that character, once you really get the technique down, you can literally do it quite quickly.
Okay. So this is interesting when you talk about old school, is that like it kind of reverts. You're talking about like the whole notion of like a tragic artist, right? Like that's very that's very romanticized, and I mean, and that's not just actors, but the musicians and stand-up comedians and stuff like that. So those people like getting away from that tragic sense, your technique allows them to not get internally conflicted. Like you hear stories about like Heath Ledger, I think is a good example. People talk about how he got so dark for the movie, and people kind of say that might have had something to do with his death. And your technique keeps people away from going to those dark places.
One huge reason that I wanted to write the book and get it out there, and the second chapter, I think it's the second chapter, is maybe it's the first, I don't know, Myth of the Tortured Actor. Mm-hmm. Because you don't have to use your own tragedies in order to create art. Mm-hmm. You're going to relate, if you've experienced something in your life that's negative or traumatic, and your character does too, you're going to relate to it on a certain level, but you don't have to draw from that painful past and the painful memories. And it is extremely psychologically harmful.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah, no, definitely. I don't like thinking about my grandma naked when I have to stop.
It's just not done, right?
No, it's not. It's not. Well, you've worked with all kinds of famous people, like we mentioned earlier. Ryan Reynolds and Amy Adams and stuff like that. So, what is an already established actor? What benefit does it have for them to have an acting coach? Already, like if they've already made a name for themselves, what's that benefit?
That's such a smart question.
Oh, thanks.
Because a lot of people go, well, why does anybody need to keep going to a coach or keep in class? And it's kind of like a tennis player wouldn't pick up a racket only when he or she had a tournament. Mm-hmm. Kind of the same thing, but every role is different. I've been with Amy and Ryan so many years before they were kind of who they are now. But yeah, so every role they approach is going to be different.
Can you tell us any fun stories about Ryan? He seems like a pretty likable fella. Is he Deadpool all the time?
No, but he can be. He can be that fun. He's a.
Did you ever touch his abs?
Well, maybe a time or two. Sorry, Ryan.
We won't tell him you said it.
No, but I hope I can say this story.
Yeah, no, please.
And Ryan, I'm sorry, all right? the very first time he ever came to me, I had this little back house where my studio used to be before it got to where it is now.
Right.
And the air conditioning was out. And Ryan is like, oh, man, do you mind if we go outside? I'm like, sure. We go outside, and it is in LA that day, maybe 101. And so he takes off his shirt, and literally for the, I might not have heard a word he said for the first 10 minutes.
Right.
I'm like, let's just read that again. Let's just go over that again, because I couldn't. I'm sorry, Ryan.
I think I totally understand.
I could be his mother, okay?
Yeah.
And we have that.
But still, you know, even a mother can appreciate a nice set of 8-pack abs, right?
He's a heck of a nice guy. And,
Yeah.
And Blake is too. They're just a great couple.
That's awesome.
And just really good people.
That's great to hear. I love
hearts.
hearing when famous celebrities who have a way better life than me are also nice people. That's great. So, when you go on set with actors, like what's the relationship like with a director there? What if like a director has maybe a different idea for an approach than maybe what you've suggested? Does that ever happen?
I'm always very careful about a director on set, because you're not there to take over his job, and you're not there to ruffle the feathers. You want to be there for your actor and only your actor. And whatever that actor needs is what you're there for, right? So when I go on set, I just make sure to let them know that this is your set. I'll walk up to them and go, hi, I'm Warner Loughlin, and I just want you to know that I'm here to help facilitate your vision. Whatever you need from me, please let me know. And I get them comfortable so they will actually let me go work with that actor, which is a good thing. Sometimes I'm hired by the director.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes they'll go, Warner, just take these guys and make them go do this.
Well, you're really good at making people comfortable, because I'm feeling it right now. I'm like, this is so cozy.
Yay, Chris.
I like it. So I know you don't only coach actors, but you also coach like singers or politicians. Or why would people that aren't actors need acting coach?
Singers, a lot of vocal coaches will send singers to me to put passion in their voices, to put passion in their songs. A lot of them are songwriters too. So, and I develop characters for them, even though, you know, they may be talking about their own lives. Sometimes they're not.
So it sounds like, too, your approach, because you talk about developing characters from beginning, it sounds like your book doesn't only apply specifically to actors, but there's a lot of people that could benefit from it, like aspiring filmmakers or storytellers or writers would also benefit, right?
Definitely. Screenwriters, novelists come to me. I work with Disney Animation, with the animators and the story editors there.
That's so cool.
They're a cool bunch.
Awesome. Well, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you for having this talk with me. I've had a great time. If you guys are interested in attending one of Warner's classes or picking up her book, head over to warnerloughlin.com for all the details. And thanks for watching.